In recent years, the Philippines has significantly increased its defense capabilities, and one of the most talked about developments in 2025 is the country's move to acquire the SM-6 missile system, a move that signals a dramatic shift in maritime strategy and regional deterrence. Welcome back to Motor Authority Philippines, your trusted source for in-depth military technology and defense insights. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the SM-6 missile, its role in the evolving security posture of the Philippines, and what this means for the balance of power in Southeast Asia. Let's begin with the basics. The SM-6, officially known as the RIM-174 Standard Extended Range Active Missile, is a versatile and high-performance missile developed by Raytheon in the United States. It's part of the Standard Missile family used by the U.S. Navy, and it stands out for its multi-role capabilities. What makes the SM-6 truly unique is its ability to intercept aerial threats including aircraft, cruise missiles, and even ballistic missiles, while also offering an offensive surface-to-surface strike option. For the Philippines, which has long struggled with maritime security and territorial challenges, particularly in the West Philippine Sea, the SM-6 acquisition is a significant leap forward. It's not just about having a powerful missile, it's about integrating that missile into a broader, more capable defense network. With the rise of regional tensions and the increasing presence of foreign vessels in disputed waters, the armed forces of the Philippines have made it clear: credible deterrence is no longer optional. The SM-6 offers precisely that. Capable of hitting targets at ranges up to 370 kilometers, and at speeds exceeding Mach 3.5, this missile is not only fast and far-reaching, but also intelligent. It utilizes active radar homing technology, which means it doesn't rely entirely on ship-based radar for guidance. Once launched, the SM-6 can independently track and strike moving targets, even under intense electronic warfare conditions. One of the major factors that likely influenced the Philippines' decision to pursue the SM-6 is the changing nature of modern threats. The country has had to deal with repeated incursions into its exclusive economic zone, prompting a need for longer-range surveillance and response tools. Traditional air defense systems simply don't offer the flexibility that the SM-6 brings to the table. From a strategic standpoint, integrating the SM-6 into the Philippine Navy or potentially a future land-based missile defense system changes the game. If deployed on new warships like the upcoming Jose Rizal-class frigates or on platforms built under the revised AFP modernization program, the missile provides an umbrella of protection not just over naval assets, but also for civilian maritime infrastructure, such as oil platforms and commercial shipping routes. Another advantage of the SM-6 is its dual-mode seeker. This means it can switch between active and semi-active radar guidance depending on the situation, giving it the ability to handle fast-changing combat environments. For the Philippines, this means an ability to adapt quickly in potential conflicts, particularly in the highly contested waters of the South China Sea. The versatility of the missile also extends to land attack missions. In fact, the U.S. has demonstrated the SM-6's ability to strike ground targets, which means that if the Philippines develops appropriate targeting and fire control systems, this missile could be used in limited offensive scenarios as well. While its primary role in the Philippine context would likely remain defensive, the option for precision land strike adds another layer of strategic value. Of course, acquiring the SM-6 is only part of the picture. The missile needs to be paired with advanced radar systems, networked communications, and modern command and control infrastructure. That's why recent announcements from the Department of National Defense suggest that the Philippines is working closely with allied nations, particularly the United States and Japan, to develop a fully integrated maritime defense architecture. Joint exercises like Balikatan have already provided training opportunities for Filipino forces to familiarize themselves with U.S. systems, and there is increasing talk of future collaborative deployments. In fact, there are unconfirmed reports suggesting that initial deliveries of the SM-6 to the Philippines could come through foreign military sales or even rotational deployments via U.S. ships operating in the region. Let's talk about cost. The SM-6 is not a cheap missile. Each unit reportedly costs around $4 to $5 million. That's a substantial investment for any developing nation. However, when you consider the range of capabilities offered to air defense, missile defense, and surface strike here, the cost is arguably justified. It's a classic case of quality over quantity. And in contested waters where a single missile could determine the fate of a naval engagement, that quality becomes invaluable. There's also a geopolitical dimension to this. By aligning more closely with U.S. military technology, the Philippines sends a clear signal about its regional partnerships and its commitment to upholding international maritime law. This move will likely be welcomed by allies and watched closely by others with competing claims in the region. In many ways, the SM-6 isn't just a missile, it's a message. Critics, however, have raised some valid concerns. For one, there's the risk of escalation. Arming the Philippines with long-range strike capabilities could lead to a regional arms race. There's also the issue of sustainability. Can the armed forces of the Philippines maintain such advanced systems over the long term, especially when it comes to logistics, training, and spare parts? But supporters argue that in the face of growing threats, the country can no longer afford to be passive. The SM-6 represents not just a technological upgrade, but a shift in doctrine here from a largely reactive defense posture to a proactive deterrent strategy. And as the Philippines continues to modernize, systems like the SM-6 will play a critical role in ensuring both national sovereignty and regional stability. As of mid-2025, we're still waiting for official confirmation on deployment timelines, but sources suggest that initial integration work has already begun. Whether on board new vessels or through ground-based platforms, the SM-6 will become a central part of the country's defense discussion in the coming years. At Motor Authority Philippines, we'll be keeping a close eye on this development. From technical specifications to strategic implications, we're committed to bringing you the most accurate and timely defense analysis in the country. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the tools that shape our nation's security. Thanks for watching, and remember, deterrence is not about provoking conflict. It's about preventing it. The SM-6 missile, in the hands of a prepared and responsible force, may just be the deterrent the Philippines needs in these uncertain times.